let's have a conversation.
What's happening, y'all? Give me a quick minute. Okay, so what do we got here? First of all, I hope everybody's Christmases went well. You know, mine was pretty good. Spent some time with my family. Hope yours went well. So this was something that I saw prior to Christmas, but obviously I wasn't gonna make this live on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, but I wanted to get into this. This is one of the oldest and most prehistoric beefs in sports. Michael Jordan versus Isiah Thomas. And there's all kinds of conflicting information and stories and gossip surrounding it. But I think at the end of the day, it's two very competitive guys that were in the same conference, that had a great rivalry, that played against each other and beat each other up. We can go into the details, but I'm not even going to get too deep into the details. Isiah Thomas played for the bad boy Pistons, and Michael Jordan was on the Bulls. And the Pistons used to beat up on the Bulls. And something specific that they used to do is they used to have something called the Jordan rules, which basically just amounts to they roughed up Jordan and threw him on the ground, fouled him really hard, that type of thing. And it led to Phil Jackson and the Bulls players and the rest of the league saying they don't respect the Pistons style of basketball. It's not really basketball, blah, blah, blah. But the thing about it is, I think that Michael Jordan did actually respect the Pistons. The Pistons leveled him up because he had to become better, a better leader, a better player. He had to become tougher and stronger to be able to start knocking out and beating that Pistons team. So then there's another major incident involving these guys where Isiah Thomas did not get on the 1992 Olympic Dream Team, which I've seen many accounts say that it was actually Magic Johnson was the reason that he didn't make that team, but he attributes it to MJ. So fast forward all these years later, not that they liked each other or anything like that, but they have been around each other. They've been around each other's circles. They've been at Hall of Fame events together, all this kind of stuff. Since then, they're both retired. Isaiah's like, what, 61? MJ's almost 60, 59 at this point. So it was kind of frozen. The beef was frozen at this point in time. And then The Last Dance came out. So I'm going to play a little clip of The Last Dance, the part that Isiah is mad about. And then we're going to get into what he said recently, what Isiah said recently in an interview. Then I'll give you guys my thoughts, and that's going to be it for this video.
The best point guard of all time is Magic Johnson, and right behind him is Isiah Thomas. No matter how much I hate him, I respect his game. Now, it was insinuated that I was asking about him, but I never threw his name in there. Based on the environment and the camaraderie that happened on that team, it was best harmony. Would Isiah made a different feeling on that team? Yes. You want to attribute it to me? Go ahead, be my guest. But it wasn't me.
What he was referring to there was that he was saying, yes, I did not want Isiah Thomas to be on the Dream Team, but I was not the main person who was the reason why he was left out.
Says now, you know it wasn't his true actions then. It's time enough to think about it. Or the reaction of the public that's kind of changed his perspective of it. Yeah, you can show me anything you want. There's no way you can convince me he wasn't an asshole.
So those two comments were the things that Isiah is reacting to and the things that made him upset. Being called an a-hole and MJ saying he hates him. He said, Isiah said he didn't know that MJ considers him an a-hole or that he hates him, which I'm going to get into after I put up this comment that Isiah made in a recent podcast that he was in. When I was watching The Last Dance, I'm sitting there and I'm watching with my family and I'm thinking everything is good. Then the guy comes on television and he said that he hates me and calls me an a-hole. Then I proceed to watch a whole documentary about him being an a-hole. And I'm like, wait a minute, time out. Until I get a public apology, this beef is going to go on for a long time because I'm from the west side of Chicago. I understand being pissed about that. You know what I mean? I understand. But I feel like Isiah just needs to let that one go. I don't think that MJ is ever going to give him an apology. And I also feel like Isiah takes it as something deeper than what it is. And here's why I say that. They say before you hate somebody, you have to love them first. To truly hate somebody, you have to have come from some place of love first. Those are the people you hate the most. People use the term hate really loosely. And I think that Isiah's definition and MJ's definition are different in this regard. I think that MJ hated Isiah, the basketball player. And I know in the comments, not in my comments, but I've commented on Isiah MJ posts on other YouTube pages and other social media platforms. And people are like, oh, no, he's saying personal things like he doesn't like Isiah personally. But then I say to that, did he know Isiah personally? And from any accounts, even from Pistons players and from Bulls players, I don't think that he and Isiah specifically knew each other like that to be friends for MJ to have that kind of personal opinion. It's like, I don't like him based on what I experienced of him on the court. And even him saying here, he's the second best point guard of all time, no matter how much I hate him. I feel like MJ actually respects Isiah. I feel like MJ respects Isiah, but he's like, at that particular point in time, he was like this. I didn't like him, and I don't care enough to have any kind of conversation, discussion about it, and nothing is going to change my mind. This is the other thing. People act like MJ does not have to be friends with him. There's some people that want to be liked by everybody. There's some people that want to be liked by everybody. I'm not one of them. I realized early on, not everybody is going to like you. I feel like Isiah ultimately, even if they were not friends, wants MJ to be like, Isiah is a good guy. Isiah is a good person, and I like him as a person. MJ does not seem to be that type of person who's going to say that. But I also think that MJ does not have like a personal beef with Isiah. And I feel like the people that, like, for instance, Scottie Pippen, because everyone knows Scottie Pippen went on that MJ smear campaign tour. He wrote the book. He was interviewed everywhere about how Michael wasn't a good guy. He didn't like him. He wasn't a team player. He's everything that's wrong with the game of basketball, blah, blah, blah. MJ, as far as I know, has not publicly addressed him. And I feel like he hasn't publicly addressed him because that beef is real. They were around each other. Their families were around each other. They did have a relationship, even though Scottie is trying to downplay it now. They did have some kind of relationship back in the day, back in the 90s. And I think that that's the reason MJ did not address that. I feel like the reason he's willing to publicly address the Isiah one is because it's not a personal beef. It's just like, I don't like the guy. I respect his accomplishments as a basketball player. I think he's a great basketball player, but I don't personally like him. And I don't really know what Isaiah's saying when he's like, well, I'm from the west side of Chicago. Does that mean that you're going to run up on him, show up at his door, send people for him? I don't know. But I doubt it at this point in time. We know that Isiah is a tough guy. I don't know why. You know what? West side of Chicago, you know, it's probably one of those things. It's probably one of those ego things where it's like, this is the way that I am. This is my rep over there. This is how I grew up. And the family might have been hyping him like, yo, you going to let him talk to you like that? And he's like, nah, I'm demanding my apology. But I feel like this is a beef that unfortunately is going to go to the grave. These guys are never going to let it go, especially Isiah. MJ's not going to let it go. Isaiah's not going to let it go. I hope they do. I hope at some point they have a conversation. Shaq and Kobe, I mean, it's a little bit of a different situation, but I remember when Shaq and Kobe had that sit down with each other, that was really powerful. I remember when Magic and Isiah actually had their sit down. You know, that was powerful. I'm all for healing and things ending, but I guess what I'm saying here is I think that Isiah is taking MJ's words as more seriously than they are. I think when he's like, I hate Isiah. I'm somebody who has played sports and for years. And if you ask me about certain people, I would tell you the same thing. Man, I hate this guy. I hate this person. I hated this guy. I hated this person. It wasn't really a personal hate. It's just like when we get on the court or when we get on the field, they play a certain way. And I hate playing against them. But also, I'm competitive, just like MJ. So for MJ, it's like I hate him, but saying I hate somebody and having a reason to hate them is also a sign of respect. As strange as that sounds. Like, I have so much respect for who they are as a player and how hard it is to play against them and beat them, that I have to work extra hard to get this done. So I think that Isaiah's taking it as like, I hate you as a person. Like, you're a really bad person. Whereas MJ's like, I hate you on a basketball court and I'm pretty indifferent on you as a person. And that's why I don't want to have any conversations, resolutions, all that kind of stuff. And MJ lives in the clouds, man. Let's be honest here. Isiah, we see him all the time. He does all these interviews. You know, he works with the NBA still. Commentary, analysis, blah, blah, blah. MJ, he's up here. He comes down from the sky every once in a while and apparently makes controversy, but I don't think he's really thinking about Isiah Thomas like that specifically. So I would say that the guy needs to just let that go, know that he's never going to get his apology. I don't really know what he's doing demanding one. I guess he thinks that that's going to scare him, worry him into giving him one, but I don't think it's ever going to happen. And that's my thoughts on the Isiah MJ beef. I hope all of you guys have a great one. Make sure, if you have not done so yet, please like the video, drop something in the comments. Let me know what you think of this whole situation. Hit the notification bell, even though sometimes the notifications come way later than the videos I put up. Hit the notification bell anyways to give yourself the best chance of catching when I drop some more great content. And I hope everybody has a great rest of your day.